Hello and welcome to Pit Lane Sim Racing. My name's Rich and Frontier Developments have released their latest update for F1 Manager 2022. This is an update which lots of people have been waiting for, and I thought I would just take a few minutes to read through the update, understand the update, and just share it with you guys because I haven't actually read through what they've done yet. So this is update 1.11. and it's rolling out across all platforms, and it will apply in existing saves unless stated otherwise in the note, okay? So let's just dive straight in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button and also subscribing to the channel. Updated safety car procedure to allow lapped cars to unlap themselves when appropriate. So some people I've already seen have been questioning the when appropriate. I'm guessing that is the developer's way of very simply alluding to the normal rules of Formula One. So they're just not going to carry on unlapping, and it's going to be appropriate, and it's going to be by the rules. So safety car unlapping when appropriate. Fantastic. Updated overtaking behavior to allow cars to unlap themselves in normal race conditions when they demonstrate sufficient pace compared to the car on the lead lap. Now, this has been a difficult one, and I knew that would be the difficulty when creating this rule and unlapping and things like that. How do you resolve the issue of a car approaching another that it's to unlap itself and then getting a blue flag immediately and allowing the lead car back, if that makes sense? And that is quite a difficult problem to resolve, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in playtesting of that. Reduced the strength of DRS performance. Now, this has been a big one called for in the community. Very important one. It doesn't really matter which team you are. If you can stay within DRS, you've got a massive chance of an upset as a result. So that is a big one, and that will hopefully go some way into balancing using a slower team early on in the game that you won't get so many crazy results. Increased effective range of slipstream, meaning that following cars will be affected by slipstream at greater distances behind a leading car. Again, I don't know the actual data on that. I don't know how far behind the car they had to be to get the slipstream. But obviously, in balancing the DRS, they've had to work on the slipstream as well. Increased effective range of dirty air, meaning that following cars will be affected by dirty air at a greater distance behind a leading car. So while you'll get, probably by the sounds of it, you'll get a greater slipstream, round corners you're going to get affected more by dirty air, by how I read that anyway. Added aerodynamic balance options to settings menu under gameplay tab. This option allows players to choose between the recommended setting featuring all aerodynamic balance updates in update 1.11 or the original setting in which those settings will not be active. After updating to 1.11, all players will default to the recommended settings. Players can only choose between these settings when they are in headquarters or main menu screens. Changing this option will not be available during the race weekend. That's an interesting one. So basically, you can turn these settings off and keep it as it is. That's an interesting thing to add. There we go. That's how I understand that. Anyway, if you have a different interpretation of that, let me know down in the comments. Weather. Resolved issue causing unintentionally inaccurate weather predictions in the track condition area. Now, look, I'm a little bit on the fence of this, right? Because while, of course, you can update your weather center and things like that and get a more accurate weather forecast, I might be one of the few that thinks it should never, ever, ever be 100% accurate, because it never is in real life. Weather forecasts are never completely accurate, and we see it time and time again in real F1 where the teams just don't know. You have a driver saying it's raining on turn 4, and the team are saying, well, it's not. You know, and they get it wrong. So even with a fully upgraded weather center, I think it should be still a touch inaccurate. Now, it was massively out. It was massively out with the weather, but I also don't think it should be 100% accurate because life's just not that way. Race simulation increased the tyre wear threshold for AI cars to pit under safety car conditions. Now, what I think that is going to do is when it can make sense to pit, then they will, rather than letting a safety car go, then 3 or 4 laps later pitting. And I think we've all benefited from that. So hopefully that makes them choose to pit a better sort of, period. Razer Chroma. Support added for Razer Chroma peripherals. This covers team colors, racing flags, replays, and lights out sequence. I actually don't know what that is. Car part development. Updated the description of rushed manufacturing to remove incorrect information. Performance gap for the DRS Delta stat is now a more significant, increasing potential effectiveness. So that's good to know. DRS Delta actually matters more with the increased DRS changes up above, decrease effectiveness. DRS Delta is now more prominent. And fuel usage, updated text string on pre-session screen to remove inaccurate details. And there we go. That's the 1.11 update. And actually, that, to me, encompasses everything that I've seen people shout loudest about. Unlapping under safety car, unlapping under normal conditions, and also reducing the strength of DRS. That's a very good, very solid update, and I cannot wait to get involved and to play some of that on stream. What do you think to it? Is there anything else that you want from this year's game? Maybe we'll need another balancing after this patch, with widespread playtesting, but I honestly wouldn't be shocked if we get one more minor update where they balance all of this. But beyond that, I think we've got what we're going to get from F1 Manager 2022. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you've liked and subscribed, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, guys.